Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War 2 with this French campaign. So, we are in a position right now where the Mughals have brought in quite a few troops. I think they're around roughly the same amount as I have, so around 6,000-7,000 in the area. And they've already set fire to literally every single smaller village. Although, village in a province with 24 million people is, yeah, probably towns of their own. Oh wait, they're actually called towns. Well, that's great. With that said, what I see is an opportunity, rather than to take them on, kind of bottled up inside the fort, is to attack them here. They're close enough to the bridge that I think we'll get a bridge battle. And there's no way I'll cross. But I'm sure the enemy will be forced to cross because I have superior amount of artillery to blast them from my side of the river and force them to come across. And we know how those turn into bloodbaths. In the prolonged war, though, in terms of what we're looking here, I mean, holding on to their capital doesn't seem like a thing. So, I think what we'll do is we'll build up the force after this battle. Or we'll try to take as few casualties as possible. It's kind of a tall order for me. But anyways, we'll build up as much as possible. We raise the entire province, absolutely destroying it. And then we'll head back to Calcutta. And then we'll work from there. Now, there was those full stacks down there, so my spy should definitely go ahead and check out that area. Alternatively, what I should do is, we can see Lahore has 10,000, this one's now down to 4,000. If I just raise the entirety of India, it could mean that you know, we'll definitely, if we, like, currently, my army alone isn't enough to, like, conquer a big part and then set for peace. What I could do is I could torch the entire place and reduce their ability. Like, we could put them at such a step back that once I'm actually able to invade, they have no chance whatsoever. Also, in that, we would like to try and go south, take a few areas, and have them rebel, and we'll have the Hindus come back. So the Marathan Confederacy, or if there's some other confederacy out there we don't know about, that could rise up against the Mughals, and we can open up it that way. But that's for now. Currently, we're not going to go in there just yet, because we've got another thing that I want to discuss before that. The Ghost Army from the north has not yet arrived. However, I've got the idea here, which I set forward last time, or last video, which is to replenish this army, which we're on a good way of doing. And hopefully, I could leave with most of this army. It depends really on what we need. We're building one trade ship that's going to go ahead before us and scout out the islands. I can actually reach all of them, and we're gonna bring, I would like to bring the priest, but it depends really on how many people live on the islands. The reason why is I would really like to be able to land my priests down here, because these areas are still like, well, at least one of them is still Protestant, and it's got some natives in it, so we want to get rid of that. But that's the plan. That's going to be next turn. So first we're going to do this river battle. In terms of what's happening in Europe, nothing is happening in Europe at the current. So I don't have to think about that. However, as someone mentioned now, I can't remember what episode. I'm like 5 episodes ahead of you guys, but someone mentioned about the Ottoman problem. Where basically if the Ottomans become too strong, they get tons of troops. They spread them out into single unit stacks, and they just spam them all over kind of this area and move them back and forth. It has something to do with the area here. So at some point after we're done with this, we're probably gonna have to go in and try and deal with this area right here, this messy area, and see what we can do just to reduce the Ottomans' presence in Europe, like all of it really. See what we can do there just to kind of really cut them down. I know early on, like first video I think, someone wanted me to invade Egypt, which I can't remember exactly why they wanted me to do that, but yeah. Is there anything else that I'm thinking about? Yeah, the one thing also here, I mean, I've been holding back on doing the slave trade, which is, I mean, minus happiness for lower classes is bad, but minus, okay, so the research rate is not that great, but minus 4%, it's actually minus 8% because it's for 2 times. So I'm hoping that's 8%. It's actually and then 8% minus for recruitment cost and 3 upkeep. That's a lot. Plus also 5 plus into town wealth in the region. So that's all towns increase 5, I guess. Or like increase the for the whatever. And then 20% wealth generated by ports. 20%, that's a lot. And now I've always got another one. So if you didn't think the slave trade was bad enough in terms, like it's kind of a good deal if you have the happiness, and if you don't care too much about a 5 minus in research rate. Now we have a new one, which is the use of the MNC, multinational corporation, the multinational corporation, Amazon basically, which is the Amazon colonial policy, as it says here, use of the MNC in the colonial policy of genocide. So if you didn't think that was one, and it's also 1 turn, so it goes really quickly. Technology research rate is actually increased by this one, so it will offset the minus from the slave trade. And then look at and then the rest of it is just good stuff. Actually, the entire thing is just good stuff, right? So it's minus upkeep for naval units, 10% minus for the navy, and then minus 2 for recruitment cost on land units, 1% wealth, that doesn't mean anything, and 5 plus movement range, and then I get 3 you know, Amazon infantry units, Amazon cavalry, Amazon infantry, and Amazon lancers that can go around and genocide, you know, people of color. It's like such a dilemma. Slave trade. It's really good. It's like in terms of just like the meta of the game, it's really good. But at the same time, did they really have to name this one the colonial policy of genocide? Like if the slave trade wasn't bad enough, they added colonial genocide. Like, yeah, we're gonna hold off on that one. We're gonna hold off on that. We're not gonna genocide people yet. I mean, I've been pretty relaxed here. Not partly because, like, going into the natives here, they've got great stacks, but the Cherokee seems to, like, they're starving. Their stacks seem to be starving, so I'm not sure what's going on there. And I'm sure we'll see something similar with the Iroquois. I kind of didn't they have full stacks in all their areas? I'm not sure they're doing too hot. They have been like losing wealth the entire game, and a lot of it as well. And it's not, wait, it's not because of tax, it's because of government. So what does that mean? Is like tribal leadership? Who is the leader of the Iroquois? Is he like, he must be stealing a ton of money, or is it just inefficiency, or what's going on? Oh my god, someone tried to pronounce that. Tell me you can pronounce this. He's a jughead and morally impaired. Okay, so now I can kind of see what's going on there. Like, try to pronounce this. The first. He's 55 years old, so if they're lucky he might die, but yeah. They're not doing too well. Anyways. We're already kind of genociding though, just because of our conquering this province. The province is actually losing 4.5% of the population each turn, I guess. So 4% doesn't sound, or like almost 5% doesn't sound a lot, but out of a population of 24 million, that's kind of a lot of people dying. Yeah, so we're already kind of doing it without instituting an official policy. It's not an official policy yet. And I guess we could, I mean, currently in the roleplay, we've kind of have this guy going rogue after his failure to capture what we thought was unoccupied, or go in and occupy it after the Dutch had left the island. So, with that said, the genocide of Bernard Merlet continues as he strikes the enemy before they are able to strike him. At the Battle of whatever river this is. I should probably know what river that is because it passes. It seems like a pretty big one. Is it the Ganges? It's unfortunately the only Indian river I know. They have 5,400 men, 3 cannons, lots of cavalry. It's going to be a slaughter crossing the bridge, so fit perfectly for this bloody coward. Well, he's rumored to be coward because of his failure in the first campaign. But then he's gone crazy and is slaughtering his way through India. With that said, we wouldn't mind him dying because he seems like kind of an asshole. In a roleplay way, anyways. Obviously, I don't want to lose the battle in the meta way. Enough talking now. Especially about genocide. I've said that too many times. The video is gonna get demonetized. YouTube doesn't really, in a sense, when I don't think YouTube has ever, even when I've been a little bit of an edgelord, YouTube has never really demonetized stuff like this. Me saying in the video, because I'm too small of a creator for them to care, I think, to go in that, or my viewers don't report me, I guess. With that said, let's have a slaughter and turn this river red. The battle is underway. The enemy is deploying its troops rather poorly. However, they are not crossing. But as I said, I've been able to get them to. I mean, look at how they deploy their troops. For some reason, they're kind of facing this way. I put a precaution just so that if they were coming through this bridge, I sent a lot of troops over here, and also to the point where I would be able to swing around. I don't want a lot of these troops to survive. Like this unit was cut down to a single cavalryman, and then the bulk of the force we can see right here. Right now, these, if these were the heavy guns, and with the accuracy, being able to fire up the side of the enemy like this, that would have been quite spectacular. Currently, because only my heavy guns are the ones that can reach the enemy's cannons, it's probably going to take a while before we'll force the enemy to come across the river. At the same time, though, I'm kind of deployed my troops in a bad way as well. As when I need to close this as the enemy is crossing, I'll be lining up for their artillery to fire down the same way they are firing it. I'm firing at them right now. Might not matter though, as their cavalry is getting absolutely shafted by my batteries right here. They're perfectly lined up for a lot of this, and seemingly my heavy battery is slowly cutting away at theirs, as this one's already down to just 3 guns. But for now, it seems like we're just gonna be looking at a lot of close-ups of us murdering their cavalry. Here comes another battery shot. Unfortunately, I mean, even though my cannonballs will bounce further than they're able to actually target units, they won't do any damage beyond what they're able to target. I was about to say, this is a new unit, but then as you get closer, it's like some cloaking device. Or warlord, I don't know. At first I thought it was a scam, because usually people that message me just message me about scams. Like, for a while, it's not as bad right now, but for a while there it was relentlessly, like, all kinds of scams. Like, I don't know how many they sent on Instagram. They felt like they literally attacked me from all areas. And it wasn't just like, you know, normally you always get a few scams here and there. But it felt like it was relentless. Like, it all came within like 1 or 2 weeks. And it was, all my passwords. Like, someone's trying to set literally all the different passwords. And then, tons, people messaging on Instagram or whatever. So it felt like almost like it was a coordinated thing. Right now they're focusing so many troops over here. And this bridge does not have cannon support. I want them to get over here. I might have deployed too many troops over in this area. Now my smaller guns can't even fire at anything. They'll just make a smoke show. Let's see if we can't. We'll let the enemy reorganize itself a little bit so I can destroy them. Soon enough, they're out of guns. We've destroyed 1 battery, so 1 battery is completely out of guns, which I love. And so they started off with 18 cannons, and now they're down to 7. So I would say that's pretty good. My heavy battery has done short work of their light guns. And the enemy is kind of shooting their own troops here, which we do enjoy. Looks like they are lining up again, so my lighter guns, so my 9-pounders, will be able to fire. One thing that I did notice when I was looking, I was talking earlier about the technologies for what's it called? Genocide and slavery. But there's also, I noticed that with the way they've done some of the military technologies, like as you unlock certain ones, you unlock new troops, and I think what it will do, it'll make older units obsolete and it introduce new ones, because I noticed that if the next one, which is military cadence, I think it is, it will make a lot of the older units obsolete and bring in new units closer to sort of the latest stage of 1700s, or at least what I could tell, what I can tell from memory, it was roughly like that, something. I wonder if I order the battery to aim the guns right about here, maybe they'll hit the guns better. Okay, they're lining up quite a few units now. Mostly infantry though. Cavalry is something that I really want to destroy. And now they're moving over here. this smaller unit. This one's just kind of out of reach. But now they're moving in a really bad way in terms of... Wait. Seemed like cannon shots came from that way. Did I just... I might have taken all the artillery. Yeah. You're still supposed to be firing over here. And destroy these. Maybe I should fire some guns here, wake these guys up. And maybe we can start them trying to cross. Also, you know what I just noticed here? This right here will actually protect me from their artillery. I can line up like this, and their guns will just fire into this. Maybe some bullets will, or some cannonballs will bounce over, but the majority will be soaked up by that. Well, that will be pretty good. We've got one cavalry unit trying to cross. So I'm gonna break that, but at the same time, this one's moving in a really good way for us to target. I don't know, there's slight elevation of the ground here. Might be hard to hit these. Might actually be easier for my battery, my heavy battery, to bounce into these guys. Currently though, I mean, the battle is kind of slow. No one's really crossing, although it looks like cavalry is crossing now. Just as a cannon shot comes through here, I line up to get them to get better shot off us. Oh, and I moved the troops up there. Looks like they're not going to cross anymore. We'll see. What I think I'll do right now is we'll just jump to the point where they actually will try and cross. And what it looks like right now is might try to cross at two locations at the same time. And unfortunately, the one where I don't have any cannons, there seems to be a lot of units trying to cross. Actually, you know what? I was gonna do a cut in the video, as I thought they were gonna take a while to cross, but it looks like they actually are preparing to cross. They'll get these units here will be absolutely slaughtered, no doubt about it. Here it's going to be a little bit more difficult because we'll only rely on the muskets. I wonder, I'm trying to conserve my marines, but my marines are so much better, which you can kind of tell by the enemy, by the fact that the enemy is constantly bombarding them. But I should probably move them forwards to deal with these troops instead of having the... Oh, yeah, I thought I heard arrows being fired. They're targeting me from across the river. We'll move the line back. The cavalry units are being broken before they've even been able to cross. And these units are just about to cross. Oh, cavalry is coming across. The heavy battery needs to aid here. Let's see, the lancers. They kind of broke off their attack and got slaughtered in the process. Enemy general got murdered because of that. I wonder if I can destroy the bridge. What if you aim for the bridge? Yeah, make sure the cavalry gets destroyed. But I think since I'm gonna focus on both sides now, and this is not as much as a priority, I'll set the artillery to kind of just fire and bounce shots through here, and I'll come back and check at this area. Have we done any damage on the bridge? Oh, actually we've done 24%. It's quite of a lot. Okay, their troops are charging in. As long as my troops hold and fire, I think they'll do fine. Yeah, we're breaking most of these. That looks good. I don't think I've ever seen a bridge get destroyed, so that would be kind of cool if we're able to actually destroy the bridge. Lucky for me, the enemy goes for the line rather than the cannons, and so they keep getting destroyed here, which we like. So even though, okay, so one of my units broke and it's about to become 2 units, the Marines will be ordered forwards to plug that gap, and I'll move in the cavalry to deal some damage as well, and then these 2 units will be moved in as reserve. This side looks like it's going really well, and we're tearing these guys up, destroying them as they try to get closer. They're lining up to shoot arrows, and I think we actually will have a better time charging them down instead. The batteries will now hold fire. These 3 units will move up like that as these bayonet charge. A lot of the marine units, or a lot of the colonial units, are being forced back. So they'll retreat beyond the hill, and then it's up to the Marines to hold off the enemy. Let's see, 56%. I won't be able to blow it up in time, but it will kinda stop the enemy from crossing, or like crossing back to safety. Okay, so the bayonet charge didn't go too well. Colonial line infantry is not as good as the Marines, or they don't have the same charge bonus, so it didn't go as well. But they're holding them up so the rest of the colonials can fire on them. I think that strategy right there of charging actually was a dud. That did not do well. Marines shooting these guys down. We're charging over here. Let's get you around. Cavalry around. Throw them in. Throw them in. Get those charge bonuses in. Destroy those guys. Try and stop shooting our own men. And then the cavalry coming up the behind. Oh, the enemy here is actually pushing through. Pull back, and why don't you switch to canister? Less likely that we do a lot of friendly fire damage. And then the enemy is getting torn up by Marines. Although the Marines suffered quite heavy casualties as well. Oh, we did destroy the bridge. We have a break. It's a pretty clean cut, but we have a break. The bridge is destroyed. And the Marines just slaughtered the enemy. We might have lost quite a few troops, more than I would have wanted. But at the same time, the enemy lost so many more troops than what we did. Interesting, kind of how a new area just spawned there. Let's see if we can't break this part. Might look better. I was kind of worried that we'd end up crashing the game, because I don't think I've ever seen a bridge collapse before. With that, it looks very much like we are victorious. It's just a matter of formalities. We destroyed another part of the bridge. Wonderful. Normally, usually it takes like forever to try and break down bridges and stuff. But here it's going pretty smooth. Yeah, they're bloody archer units. God awful. Just absolutely murdering my units. But yeah, it's a formality now, as we outnumber them to such a degree here that victory is assured. Here's the result of that battle. I lost quite a few troops, a lot more than I thought I would. Only a few though were friendly fire, about 100, 250, which is pretty good. Given that even when I lost half my force, very surprised to lose half my force when I was holding a river crossing. Then again, those bows and also their melee infantry does quite a number on you when you meet them. Ordnance battery got 600 carbineers chasing down the ordnance there, really slaughtered. Demi-cannons. If I had had demi-cannons firing up the side of the line there on the enemy, that would have been spectacular. But anyways, the threat to the town here is safe for now. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg, 14,000 to fix up this army. Actually, rather than recruiting supplies, we might actually spend that money on replenishing troops. What I think we do, the strategy is to basically destroy the entire thing and then go north, destroy the entire thing, and then just move around the centers to destroy their economy. Because I'm sure they've got mighty fleets that are going to cost them an arm and a leg, and without being able to pay for those, you know, the economy will go into shambles, and we might even see them, you know, fall and become a republic. With that, we need to... oh yeah, this is kind of an odd thing. Austria has bought Savannah, Georgia of the Cherokee. So that's on the level that the Cherokee are starving. Like, they sold the entire province of Georgia. Might actually be up for grabs for me, and I can buy it from them. Could be something. Right now, a lot of Austrians seem to be moving there. But yeah, let's end turn and then figure out if we can't actually take the battle to the Pirate Islands. Loads of raids over in India. Seed planting drill. Wonderful. It's not going to mitigate the disaster here, which is now moved up to 7% of the population. 7%. Wait. Didn't I say that this province had 24 million people before? Or am I mistaken? It's got 21 million now. 21.7 million. That's like almost, what, 3 million people just died in that end turn. That's a big oof. That's a big oof. Indians are kind of doing it to themselves by burning the infrastructure in the area. They could try to, you know, lay siege to the province and take it back, rather than burn every single area. Now, it's a bit much to say that they're doing it to themselves, since I was the one that came in here first and attacked it, but you know, them burning every farm in the area does not help. Let's go ahead and take a look at scouting here. So we're gonna take trade ship, we're gonna sail across. Okay. There's a pirate general, and then a few Royal Majesty's deserters. 45 accuracy. They're very good shots, much know-how, long to resist the enemy, not like... oh yeah, the morale is shit. They're really good unit actually. 15 attack, 12 melee defense, 45 accuracy. That's a really good unit. The morale is shit though, because that's definitely on the plate to attack that. And then we got this area. Courtesan Grenadiers. 65 accuracy, but they only got 65 range. 16 melee attack, 10 defense. Good units. Is it all women? I guess so, courtesan grenadiers. I imagine there's grenades they're shooting then, possibly? And then we hit the last island, which actually has nothing. Nothing defends this one, and it's only gonna spawn 2 units. This could actually be a prime target, because that's the one this ship has to go to port in. But maybe we should island hop from one island to the other, so as much of this force as I can possibly bring with me. We'll have to leave 4 units. Against the pirates, I'm sure that my Irish won't actually do too well. It's the cavalry that will do well. Should I bring the priest? You know what? We'll bring the bad one, the one that's actually does no conversion whatsoever. He is no longer allowed to sit on Jamaica and drink rum. He will be sent off. Right, so we land the force. And we get the agent out. And he does nothing. And then the army comes out and it attacks. Oh, we get one of the courtesan loads of pirates. I guess we play this one. Even if it's highly in favor of me. Just because, I mean, it's the pirates. We'll have to fight them. Well, this pirate fight didn't go at all as I had thought it would. I was trying to test out what their kind of firepower was. So, as you see, I kind of just turned it into a cinematic battle, just to save time as well. Enemy general and this entire force was destroyed. Mostly by the cavalry. I'd hoped my infantry would have gotten a good fight against them. Interesting how the boys were able to kill that many. Compared to the Lancers. They did not perform that well. Or did I? How? I clearly missed something. However, they managed to do that much. But yeah, good fight though. We lost about 500 men against their 1,000. And now we have secured these islands. One thing that really important to check is we can get coffee instead of sugar. However, I think coffee and sugar is 1-to-1. There's no difference here. Also, sugar does actually allow, as we can see, oh, wrong. Sugar does actually allow an additional. So this one, coffee will only produce up to 70 sacks of coffee, while this will produce 105 at the highest level. So it's got an additional level there with a steam powered. In terms of governor's barracks, I don't see me recruiting a lot of troops out here. So we'll burn this and build something else. This cottage as well could be used for something else. But I'm not sure what exactly. What did warehouses do? They performed okay, but a steam-powered cloth mill performs a lot better, although it doesn't produce happiness. It produces a lot more money. Anyways, I think that's it for the episode. So we captured 1 out of 3 pirate islands. It might be that they start producing troops, which they probably should be doing. In terms of Europe, in between episodes, I will try to figure out maybe a deal with at least Great Britain, because I have no interest in fighting them anymore. In terms of India, we'll go ahead with our plan of literally destroying the provinces we take over, putting everything to the torch, and then leaving the area to be, you know, to rebels. We'll burn everything, and then we'll just move from area to area and burn the entire, all of India that we can, just to completely crush the Mughals' power. And with that said, I will end it right here. So, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.